Welcome back. Looks do matter. Looks are almost everything. But no matter how unattractive you are, game can fill the void. And I'm going to prove that to you guys today. And what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at a Jubilee video where this girl rates 10 or 11 men. And she rates them based on their looks, and then she meets them and gets to know their personalities. And I'm going to use this as an example on how Cold Approach does improve your dating game. So if you're sitting at home right now during quarantine and you're swiping right on Tinder, naughty naughty, all you're doing, unless you're a pretty boy of course, if you're a pretty boy I'm not really speaking to you, but if you're generally unattractive guy or medium, or you're below, you're the 90% of guys that don't get all the girls because of the 80-20 rule. 20% of men get 80% of the women. Swiping right on Tinder is just not going to work for you unless you're from a first world country and you're going to a third world country, or you've just got a lot of status and money, and therefore you're probably not watching this anyway. So what I'm going to do is go through this video and we're going to talk about the importance of game. And we're going to have a look at this Jubilee video. I think it's very important. Before we kick it off, I'm Dave, and this channel is dedicated to giving you no bullshit novel dating advice for the modern man. My coaching has a money back guarantee because, well, I think my coaching is worth it. 90% money back guarantee on my coaching. So, well, obviously believe in what I preach. Let's just put it that way. So here's the video. Let's have a look. Okay, so Angela here is going to rate 11 guys. She's going to give them a rating out of 10, apparently. And why don't you guys, if you're watching this, I don't have a large subscription base at the moment, but why don't you give her a rating out of 10 for me right now? Personally, I would give her a, see, at almost 40, she probably looks like she's about 23, so she's, what, 17, almost 17 years younger than me. I would still rate her a 5 out of 10 if she's lucky. But if I was, say, 25 myself, I would probably give her a 2. How about a 1.7 if she's lucky? She kind of looks like a sloth, maybe a saltwater sloth, maybe a saltwater sloth monster. How about that? She's got these little blonde tips at the end. As if she's been in the salt water and the sun has dyed her hair blonde at the tips, you know, and it's coming out black at the top, but she's in the swamp. She's a sloth swamp monster. Actually, hang on, let's have a look. Let's see if I can find a swamp monster. There's my channel, by the way, money back guarantee. There it is. Sloth Monster. Let's see what pops up. Whoops, spelled it wrong. Sloth Monster. Ah, no, I put in the wrong area. Maybe saltwater sloth monster. Oh, there she is. Images. Where is she? Yeah, I'd say she's kind of this one here. Cause see, she's got the blonde tips. Anyway, back to the video. I'll give her a 5, and let's see how she rates the guys. Definitely a sloth monster.
Really excited,
flat-chested,
really nervous.
Sloth monster.
Not with like.
Hang on, let's go back there. I gotta see that again. Oh my goodness! You see how she's standing? She's like, it's like she's very insecure and she's not very sure of herself. you know, it's like, and then she's also flat chested and that hunch sort of look. It just, but I guess a lot of insecure guys would probably look at that and go, oh, okay, well, she seems insecure, so maybe I have a chance. But this type of girl probably has an ego. She's American, so she's she's American Asian, and therefore she would have an inflated ego. I dare say she would have a far more inflated ego than, say, a black, Latino, or Caucasian American. I dare say Asian Americans are probably the most egotistical.
Not with like a number, but we definitely like judge, I guess.
Oh my god, she's a valley girl.
Sure.
I don't know, sure, like...
Do it. Oh god.
Oh, here we go.
Nice to meet you.
Alright guys. Now this is take 2, question 2. So you've rated her. Now let's rate these guys. When I'm looking through the guys, I hope you can see the cursor. I hope you guys can actually see the cursor. I'm not sure if you can. Yeah, I think you can. That's cool. So there's the chunky guy with the pants that don't fit. I don't think he's going to do very well. There's see, if you're thinking about it, like, this is it's a relatively okay body. He's kind of hunched over as well. He doesn't have a chin, but he's tall, you see. Everything's relative. So I would go through who's relatively tall. I dare say this guy here, these two. This guy's got tats. He might get a score, especially from American girls these days. They tend to like some ink. So I'd say the taller guys. This guy's probably a little bit better looking. I'd say the short guy has no chance. Neither does the fat guy. This guy's got a massive big no-no. And Indian guys tend to struggle, so I dare say this guy in the end will struggle as well. The guy with the nerdy square on his t-shirt, he stands out, but in a bad way. Yeah, so I would say the best looking guys will be these two, the tall guy, maybe the guy with the hair. I would pick those guys as the best looking guys. And these are the guys that would get all the pussy in the nightclubs. Angela would walk in there, she would have like a couple of shots of Jägermeister, and she'd be giggling with the girls, and she's most probably going to go home with this guy. This guy doesn't look like he's got any confidence to him. This guy looks pretty weak too. So I dare say one of these three is going to bang Angela if they're drunk in a club. But let's see how Angela rates them.
Play it loud.
Starting with the guy on the left, I want you to rate him on a scale of 1 to 10. She was already making eye contact with... Where is he? She was already making eye contact with this guy here. She was just doing that. She was giggling with him already.
Play it loud.
See? That's the guy. Let's skip through to the end. This is just...
Yeah. I did not like that.
Stop moving. Where are we? There.
Yes. Or then the last guy, also a 4.
Alright, how did you guys go? Alright, well, pretty boy, he looks like Soul to me. Soul, that pickup coach from Australia. Based on looks, that's generally how these guys go in the nightclubs. Looks are very important. Obviously, short stuff here. And it's relative. So just say this short guy was the tallest out of all of these guys, and they were all down here, then number 3 here, the short stuff, will get the highest rating because it's relative. So it's supply and demand. It's relative to who's standing next to you. So if you have tall friends, you're looking shorter than you should in the nightclub. It's probably recommended to get yourself some short wings if you go to the nightclub. So okay, 7, 8. We got 2 7s here. There we go. These two guys. This guy's relatively tall. Maybe the glasses and the shirt, and he's a little bit pudgy. These guys look like they kind of work out. 7 and 8. There's a 6 here. He's a bit pudgy though. He's got the glasses. His socks are 2 different colors. That doesn't really count though. I'm surprised with 4. This is a huge shock. He's the tallest guy there, but he got a 4. Why? Maybe it's just no expression on his face. Maybe it's it looks like mum gave him that haircut. Probably fashion wise, but it looks like he's got some biceps. I don't know. Maybe he's just not. Maybe because she might be relatively short. Maybe he's too big and intimidating. Who knows?
I did not like that. But it was good.
Now she gets to meet them one-on-one and get to know their personality. And this is for you guys at home. This is so important. You can be this pudgy guy here and get the worst rating ever. But if you're doing cold approach and you're working on your charisma, you're working on your game, the Sloth Monster might choose you too.
Hi, what's your name?
Hi, my name's Julio.
Ooh,
I'm Angela. Nice to meet
Julio.
I just want to say, like, you're really pretty.
you.
No!
And
No!
I went to, Eden Canyon.
No, I haven't been.
If I ever do get the chance to take you out there, and I see you smiling.
Oh my god, what are you doing? He started so strong. Hey, I'm Julio. And he had the whole little jiggle of the head, the romantic Julio. He's got the voice and everything. And then he's like, I think you're really pretty. Oh, boom, instantly beneath you. Especially with a Valley girl that says, like this Valley girl, American girl. You can't come in there and say, I think you're really pretty, and put yourself underneath her. For fuck's sake. And then he's like, if I get the chance, well, where's the confidence there? Well, I'm gonna take you out to dinner, baby girl. Well, that's not how Julio acts. This guy's got to get a 2 or something. That's pathetic.
He's like the best part of the hike.
Or like he sounds really cool, but I don't know. I feel like just that connection you look for.
Yeah,
like,
because he put himself beneath her.
4.
4.
Do you watch Stranger Things?
For fuck's
I
sake.
didn't really like it that much, so.
What is he doing? Stranger
Okay,
Things.
Woody.
Hang on.
Okay.
Stranger Things. What's that, a TV show? I don't know.
Bowling.
Well, I like bowling. What's your favorite food?
Probably Italian food. I love bread.
Good answer. I can feel.
Well, she is Asian, so if you're just going to come out and talk about food, maybe, Asian food and parents, and that's a good way to play this game. So you need to take into account, obviously, the demographic, and you need to think, okay, well, what's her home life like? Probably, if she's an Asian American, there hasn't been a lot of Asian immigration to the United States, I don't know, over the last 50 years. So there's a good chance that her parents, they might be American, but there's a better chance that her parents immigrated from some third world country, and they cook at home because they can't afford to go out to restaurants all the time, and they taught her the value of cooking at home and food. And so talking about food with this type of girl definitely would give you an advantage, or at least catch her eye. It would feel more homely to her. It would make her have some sort of build rapport with you, I would say, if you start talking about food and things like that with an Asian girl. But if you go doing that with a Caucasian girl from a rich family, she'll just think that you're insane and boring. It depends on who you're talking to, obviously.
I feel myself like smiling the whole time. And he likes bread.
Oh my god, he liked bread. Oh my god. I've never met a guy that likes bread.
What's your
What the
credit
fuck?
Oh, is that odd?
score? Yeah, I mean, you should know your credit score.
Well, what's your credit score?
Well, I'm not trying to flex, but it's like 720.
You know my credit score.
This guy's a fucking legend. So what this guy's doing is he's coming in and he's having this almost like He's pushing the limits of putting himself above her. He's like, oh, you're poor, I'm better than you. Oh, you can't figure out your credit score. Well, you're not very bright, are you? And she's like bamboozled, you know. I love that style, especially when the girl might have a bit of an ego, putting her in a place. And it seems like that's the strategy that this guy came with. It seems that way. Look, I'm not seeing much here, but from what I can see.
In like a month, it's 8 hours long.
Dang. Good luck to you.
Good luck to you. Okay, let's see if we can get some more out of him.
Like a site?
Is that it? That's all we get to see? Good luck to you. I want to see the whole conversation.
I don't think I'm a bad person. Putting that out there. I'm like a okay person.
This guy loves food.
I guess he's trying not to laugh.
Also, I went with the comedy route. He tried to be funny.
What about Boba?
Yeah, there's a lot of different strategies. There's a lot of different strategies. Obviously, you can bring to the table, and acting funny. Then what I'll do is, okay, well, what type of strategy would work? Then I'll probably think, okay, well, would her father be funny? Would people at home be funny? Is that something that she would associate with love? I'm not so sure if she's from a hard-working immigrant family. Not so sure.
What about Boba?
Oh,
Yeah, I love that.
Boba! She's an ABC, so just bring out Boba. There you go. Boba, we're going to do dumplings in the morning. We're going to go to an Asian club with only Asians. And when I go to the bar, I'm going to order 20 shots for all of my Asian brothers. We're going to light the shots, and everyone's going to be looking at us. We're going to be wearing a suit on a Saturday night in the nightclub too, just because, well, that's just the way the ABCs roll. And we've got a little community, so he's playing that game. Obviously, you can just see it.
Wait, where do you go?
There's this place called Margame on Sawtell. That's pretty good
Yes, I actually was just there last week.
I don't know what that is, but I'm assuming it's a club. It's probably one of those Asian clubs where all the Asians go, all the ABCs go, and they all dress alike, and they all have this little cliquey little community where everybody knows each other. That's the game he's playing.
Mark, I went there on Friday. It's so good.
It's so good. It got me really excited to go on a really cool first date.
Food. Oh, there we go. Well, there you go. This is the guy that, see, if you go into a nightclub and it's almost impossible imagine this guy being in a nightclub and the Sloth Monster's walking around with all of her friends, and Short Stuff here is trying to get her attention, and then you have the two handsome guys over here. Look at this guy, 7. He's rated a 7 by personality, but by looks, but he gets a 2 for personality. That's just the nightclub. This guy is representative of getting laid in a nightclub. So if you got guys out there that are teaching you how to get laid in a nightclub and they're pretty boys, they're the type of guys that don't know jack shit about dating. But this guy over here, the Short Stuff, how would he survive in the nightclub? But what he's done here is, what would you call this? You would call this, it's like through work or some sort of meetup or something. You would say this meeting would be, I don't know, like speed dating or something like that. So now he's been able to, because he was able to isolate her and have her alone and show her his personality. And now he's probably going to get some Sloth Monster action.
I also really like to cook.
I'm actually getting into cooking right now too.
What's your signature?
What did I tell you? What did I tell you guys? Her background is very important here. Now, if you want to get to know the girl, you can just look at her, gather a little bit of information. You're like an investigator. And if you can have a little bit of an understanding of what her background is, then you know which way to take the interaction. And she's like, I'm getting into cooking. Well, duh, of course she's getting into cooking because her parents obviously, Asians love food, obviously, but generally Asians love food because Asia's been the third world for like 100 years or more, 200 years or more. So all those generations, they've had to cook at home. Food's very important when you're starving. And they bring that over to America, and that doesn't go away. So she would have probably grown up in a lower to middle class, hard-working family, and they cook at home, and so that's love to her, cooking at home with the family. That's obviously going to change with the next generation of Asians. Obviously, they're going to become more. They're going to change as time goes on, but you can just tell that that's the type of girl she is. So you just bring up food. Because that's her background, and I'm getting into cooking at the moment. It's like, have you ever heard any other demographic of girls say that? I've never ever heard an Aussie girl say, "Oh, I'm getting into cooking at the moment." Never.
I'm actually working with my mom on it, but the other day we made a jambalaya. That was really good.
I'm working with mum. That's got to work against him here. I'd like to see his rating. That's probably, you can see it on her face. He's like, he's working with his mum? Oh my god, but I'm like an ABC immigrant, and all my friends are doctors and lawyers. I can't be seen with this guy.
That jambalaya sounds really good.
Hang on. Oh no, we got a 7. That's not too bad.
Jambalaya sounds really good.
But she's saying it sounds really good, but in her eyes you can tell that she really doesn't want jambalaya. That's not bad. 7.
In the Philippines.
Wait, I was born there too.
Oh really? You from here? That's cool.
So she was
Make our parents proud. And did.
I've actually never,
Typical.
like,
Typical.
like someone of my same culture.
typical Filipino guy in a Western country. Typical Filipino Asian guy in a Western country is like, oh look, we have the cultural thing, our community. That's why they have these Asian nightclubs. It's because a lot of the Asian guys, they don't want to compete with other guys, so they build these little communities within Western countries. So that's what he's doing there. He's saying, obviously, make our parents proud, and he's also hinting to her, if you date a white guy, you're insulting your parents and our heritage. So she was born in the Philippines. So that's they love America, Filipinos. I'll leave it at that. I think Filipinos are very promiscuous. I would definitely say that.
I think that Rihanna's gonna headline next year.
This guy's gay. That guy's gay. I gotta see that again. That guy's definitely gay. Who talks about Rihanna?
Last few weekends.
No, I didn't.
I'm predicting that Rihanna's gonna headline next year.
Did you see that? I'm predicting that he's gay. Why'd they put a gay guy in the lineup? I don't get it.
I did aerospace engineering and math.
That's impressive.
It's not as crazy.
I'm studying pre-med biology right now.
Making your parents proud.
I feel sorry for this guy. He's obviously working really hard. This is the archetypical hard-working guy that focuses on his books and does everything he can. Obviously an engineer, and struggles with the ladies, obviously, because he obviously doesn't have much time to go out there and become social and learn how to meet women. And often this is the type of guy that's going to get snapped up by a shark. He's not going to have any experience, get married. There's a possibility he gets divorced and she takes half of his money. The Sloth Monster would probably be the shark to do that. Good luck, Raul.
That's impressive.
It's not as crazy.
I'm studying.
He's so nervous.
Right now.
Making your parents proud.
I feel like he's just really easy to talk to.
He's so nervous, but he got an 8. So that's really interesting for you guys at home. You can see how looks. See, here we go. We got 3, 7, 4, 4. Which it's like she knew. But the only guy that really went backwards was Yeah, the second from the left, the pretty boy with no chin, tall, white, pretty boy with the long hair. Looks like he smokes a lot of weed. No conversation. He got a 7 for looks, but a 2 for personality. Now imagine if that guy was to learn some game. That 7 would instantly go to a 9 if he learnt some game. I dare say 8 has game as well. I'm surprised 6 didn't do any better. This guy here, well, there you go, 4. He improved with personality. 5 went up to a 7. The big shocker is short stuff getting a 9. A 9. Really? A 9? That's love at first conversation. And that's game. That's game, guys. That's game right there. And game isn't a cookie cutter strategy that can be used for everybody. It needs to be catered to each demographic, who you are, where you come from, what your age range is, socioeconomic status, what your background is, all these things. And you need to cater your strategy to whoever you're talking to. These are factors that are very important. It's very complex, but when I hear guys that write a book on game and they come out with a product and it's supposed to work for everyone, how can you grab Raul on the right here and give him the exact same strategy as No Chin over here? You can't. You can't give them the same strategy. How can you give Tattoos here, the Soul replacement? He pretty much looks like Soul. Is that Soul? Is that guy teaching pickup? Soul, and give him the exact same strategy in the Nightclub as Short Stuff. You really think that's going to work? I don't think so. Or you give this guy here, who's obviously hilarious, with the credit rating guy, you give him the same strategy as, I don't know, anybody else. This guy over here. This guy needs some work too. Short Stuff needs some work. This guy, oh my god. Get off the carbs, eat some vegetables, and go for a fucking walk. And that shit on your chin, get rid of that. Get rid of that shit now. God damn it. What are you doing? Okay, let's continue.
Oh, okay.
Let's have a look at her. I gotta go back there. This is an issue for me. Look at how she's hunched over. Look at how she's hunched over. She's like, I can imagine the Sloth Monster walking around making this noise, like, I bet if you go right in close to her, she probably makes that noise when she's walking around, or if she's in the shopping center and she can't find the taro. She'll be like, Anyway, let's continue.
Okay.
And then there's a guy you rated highest by personality.
Okay.
If you could choose one, which guy do you want?
This is very nerve-wracking. Probably the personality guy.
Probably the personality guy. And it depends on what situation she's in. So she's in a quiet room where she has to put up with someone's personality. But if she's in a nightclub, she's had a few drinks, she's having some fun, she's going to go with the tall fucking pretty boy with no fucking personality. She's probably popped some ecstasy or smoked some weed or something with her girlfriends. It's 2 a.m. in the morning, and pretty boy comes over here with no chin, is like, hey. She's like, oh, hi, pretty boy. You like McDonald's? She's like, oh, I love McDonald's. When really she doesn't like McDonald's. She likes home cooked food, right? He's like, let's go to McDonald's and get a taxi back to my place. She's like, okay. I've had like 10 shots of Jaeger and I go home, and this is how mistakes are made, ladies. This is how the Sloth Monster gets slayed.
So I feel like if you look pretty but like can't talk to you about anything, it's like, how's that gonna go?
Why'd you say pretty? The winner.
What's up? Nice to talk to you again.
Nice to talk to you again too. I just have a lot of fun.
This is game, guys. Right there. This is game. Short Stuff gets the Sloth Monster. This is game. This is exactly what game is. I've heard enough. I don't really need to see anything more. But yeah, there you go. That, in my opinion, is game, and why you should learn game. because, well, if you're a pretty boy, sure, swipe right on Tinder, have a few drinks and go to the nightclub on the weekend and you're going to have success. But as you get a little bit older, or you are unattractive in general, you need to learn game. I hear a lot of guys talking about, oh, okay, look, I was a nerd in high school and then I learned game. Myself, I wasn't a nerd in high school. I had game in high school. I didn't really have any problems. But what happened was, as I got older, my looks deteriorated. I went from being very attractive when I was younger, fit and athletic, and then I became older. Obviously, you get older, your looks decrease. I go from an 8 all the way down to a 3. I need to learn some game to put myself back up there. And that is what it is. If you are looks in the category of a 3, you got to learn some game. And that's why game is so important. And that's why I teach game. My coaching is 90% money back guarantee if you're unsatisfied. All that does is cover my costs of coaching you for all the hours that I put my time in, the 10%. That's a bargain, and that is the best way I can describe how confident I am that my coaching does make a difference. And that's why I recommend that you guys take some coaching from me. Money back guarantee, 90%. Boom. If you're new to this channel and you like what I'm doing here, click the subscribe button. Maybe click the bell icon as well. I can't go live on this channel yet. As soon as I build this channel up, I'll be able to go live, and that's kind of the plan. That's where I'm headed. And I'll see you guys in the next video.